Hey, Premium Escapers, and welcome back to another episode. This is one of those out of the ordinary type recordings we're doing today. This is not a battle video. This is not a let's talk about it. Renegade just dropped a bunch of releases they're coming out with in October, correct?
Yeah, I think it was October.
Yeah, October, and we're just going to kind of briefly skim them here and kind of give you an idea of what's coming out. Be prepared to purchase and buy. We have not played with these figures, so we don't know anything like that. But we're just going to kind of give you a reaction to them about, what we think about them from what we see on the cards, which is obviously, it's just going to be a out-of-nowhere reaction because, like I said, we haven't played with them. So obviously, we'll have some
just kind of
ideas.
what we think about the cards and stuff like that, and what we think about the figures.
And it'll be pretty cool because then once we do get to play with them and we do an actual talk about it, we'll get to see if our reaction matches what we thought.
Yeah, that could be cool.
We could compare ourselves, guys.
It's kind of like, let's talk about Renegade Con.
Yeah, it's pretty good. Let's talk about Renegade Con. They just came out. And you can go on the site and all these figures are on there and stuff. We're not fancy. We're not going to be able to flash these cards up on the screen for you to see and stuff like that. We're just going to kind of go off my phone here on them.
Maybe one of these days we'll learn how to.
Yeah, we are kind of old fogies here. So, one day we may get technical on you all. So, just be prepared for us.
I do got my little strip from school today. The teacher said that they own me now, so they put their names on my shirt. Crazy. They said tag everything. They tagged me.
That's pretty funny. I'll not mention about, you having to come out of the bathroom or anything, but yeah. Okay. All right. One of the first packs they showed us was a wizard pack with a like a little draw-on beast, and from my understanding, that pack I think was $70, right?
Yes,
for 5 figures.
For the wizards and the familiar, yeah. It was 4 wizards, 1 familiar.
Yeah, and well, first we're gonna talk about the familiar here real fast. First, he's the Zithwing. Brief overview. He's a beast. He has this power renewed 12. It says if the China the Zithwing is within 5 clear sight spaces of wizard you control, instead of attacking, you may roll the 20-sided dice. If you roll 12 or higher, you may remove 1 wound marker from the friendly wizard or beast adjacent to Zithwing. He has stealth flying, so you're not going to tie him down. He's got 3 life, 5 move, 1 range, 2 attack, 3 defense, and he's like 30 points. So, it's going to be interesting with the wizards because they got those command the familiars where they take those small, medium beasts and
I like Welkenai, but I'm not a fan of Kata. I mean, I know some people might like Kata. I'm not a big fan. But for 30 points, now this dude, he's good.
He's better. I agree with you. He's better for 30 points. I'd be eating him up.
And somebody to heal Awashia and somebody to heal Scion of the Wild.
Or these new guys, too, that we are getting ready to explore here, too. I got a little surprise for Shane on this, which he doesn't know about yet because he didn't catch on to it, I don't think. But, we'll touch down on it.
When you're watching it, stuff goes by really quick and you don't catch it all.
Yeah, it goes by your head so fast.
So I'm kind of hearing with y'all at the same time what he's reading off the cards so I can absorb it a little better.
And that thing was the Zithwing, the something other, I forget what it's called already. I've done with the next one. And I'm just going to be honest with you guys, I'm going to butcher these names unlike anybody you've ever heard butcher names, okay? Yeah. So it's going to happen.
Unless one of them's name is Butcher.
And I may get that. I just might. On to one of the first wizards here is you got, it looks like Crucia, the Grove Keeper. He's drawn, wizard, patient, medium 5. A lot of text here. They got the command of familiar, which means they get to take a turn with one of the small, medium beasts.
Yeah, he ain't going to have to read all that.
Wicked Thorns, it says, if a enemy small or medium figure moves adjacent to Crucia on a space where that figure could end its movement, you may roll a 20-sided dice. If you roll a 10 or higher, the figure ends its movement and lowers its attack value by 1 until the end of the current turn. If you roll 18 or higher, the figure also suffers 1 wound. Pretty neat little power.
Yeah.
It's got reach. If an enemy figure is in 2 spaces of Crucia and its level is no more than 9 levels above or 3 levels below Crucia's level, Crucia may add 1 to its range value when attacking that figure. So, neat. And the Gift of the Forest. At the end of the round, if Crucia is next to a tree or bush, you may remove 1 wound marker from this army card.
Now,
Automatic healing. That is awesome.
That's a good one right there. Because usually a lot of times you're going to see trees and bushes.
Yeah, and this wizard here has 6 life, which is high. That's a little bit on the high side.
Yeah.
5 movement, 1 range, has 4 attack, great attack, and a pretty much normal defense of 3 for 90 points. So pretty good wizard there. I got to say,
not too shabby.
That healing will definitely keep it around. Plus, it's got that command of familiar, so it's got Zithwing around that can also help heal. So that thing can stay around for a long time. It's got some sustainability right there. Now here's a figure that you got to catch on to, because there's one part of this that's going to make this other part here in just a second just as great. And this is one of the things I was telling Shane I just caught on to. That, yeah, we didn't catch it to start with. This is Halusha, Corruptor of Beast. He's a Dryon unique hero. He's a wizard. He's arrogant. He's large 8. That is huge for a wizard. Large 8, big. That's going to let him get by a lot of attacks and stuff that people do on medium and small figures. He has Commander of the Wild. Now, what this does is after revealing an order marker with a Halusha, Corruptor of Beast, before taking Halusha's turn, you may take a turn with up to 2 small, medium, or large beasts you control.
Up to 2 of them.
2 of them. So he allows 2. Then he has the Staff of the Longhand special attack, range 6, attack 2. You may use the Staff of the Longhand special attack before or after using Halusha's normal attack. Okay. So if you forget to use it at the beginning, you can still use it in the end, you know. So there's that. And then you got Calm the Beast. After while defending against an attack from a beast, Halusha increases her defense by 2. Okay. And she has flying. She is 5 hit points. She got 5 move, 1 range, 3 attack, 4 defense, and 125 points.
Don't sound too bad. The fact that she can synergize with 2 small, medium, or large beasts. Now I don't know what all beasts are large.
No, I don't know either.
Offhand, I think of a lot of small and medium, but I'm not really thinking of large ones. But I'm sure we got some. We just have to look.
Large that comes off my head, the only thing that comes to me is Swall Riders. Those are large beasts.
Yeah, they are. Okay.
All righty. So there's that, right? Then we got Rakashot, Mind Whisperer, okay?
Really? Here's Rakashot?
Well, Marker Shot, maybe. Okay. M-A-R. I can tell you, I'm going to butcher this.
Rakashot's the one we already got.
Okay, you're right. That's the dead one, yeah. So this is Marker Shot. Maybe they're related. I don't know.
Does he got horns on his head?
He does have horns on his head.
There you go.
But here he is. He's a Dryon, unique hero, wizard, confident. He's just a medium 6. He has the Command of Familiar, obviously, but he also has this other power, the Command of Familiar, which lets you take a turn with a beast.
They got it by now.
Staff of the Corruption. When rolling attack dice for a normal attack, Ricochet always adds 2 automatic skulls to whatever is rolled. That's pretty big. I'm not going to be honest with you. I mean, how often is it you get an automatic 2 skulls? Is there anything in the game that says automatic 2 skulls? Is there anything in the game that says automatic 1 skull?
What did it say again?
When rolling attack dice for a normal attack, Microshot always adds 2 automatic skulls to whatever is rolled.
What in the world? And he's the one with the 1 attack dice, right?
He does have 1 attack dice.
Yeah, he's got getting 2 automatic skulls.
He's got 6 life, 5 movement, 1 range, 1 attack, 3 defense, and he's 110 points. And he has 1 more power I haven't even mentioned yet.
2 automatic skulls.
2 automatic skulls.
Wow, that's
the snakes are doomed.
They don't even get a play against Doom.
Well, and once again, we always say this: if you have high, then you're rolling 2 attack. That's a possible 4 skulls, but you're getting 2 automatic skulls.
That's crazy, yeah.
But let me read this other power real fast before we forget about reading it. He also has Marker Shot's Whisper. After revealing an order marker on this army card and taking a turn with Marker Shot, you may choose a unique hero within 2 spaces of Marker Shot. Roll the 20-sided dice, adding 3 to the roll if you control that hero, which means you can get your own guys. If you roll a 16 or higher, take temporary control of that hero and immediately take a turn with that hero. After taking that turn, control of the chosen hero returns to its previous owner. Any order markers that were on the chosen figure's army card stay on that card. So not only do you get to go with a beast, Then you get to go with this guy, and then you can choose a hero that's yours or somebody else's and mind control.
And that was a 16 or higher?
That is a 16 or higher, and if you own it, you get to add 3 hero, which would be a 13 or higher.
16 or higher for mind control is pretty good, though.
Not bad at all. The only other ones is like 19 or 20. It's great. And like I said, a 13, and you get to take an extra turn with one of your own heroes.
Yeah,
That's pretty tough. For 110 points, you might see that one on the board quite a bit.
Yeah, that's interesting. I mean, yeah, honestly, I'm going to tell y'all the truth. I've watched this. I thought these wizards were pretty sucky just by
First glance over.
first glance of them. But yeah, once you get to really reading the stats.
And what they do.
Yeah.
Might understand why now it costs $70 to buy this box, right?
Well,
I'm not saying I approve of a high price. I'm just saying
we ain't getting into all that.
people are going to want these, okay? Now, here's the one thing I said I was going to be a surprise to you, right? Check this out, okay? This is really cool.
This is the guy that looks cool too, right? Ain't he an Utgard?
Yeah, this is Rono the Brambler Tooth. Really weird name. Brambler Tooth, right? All right, you ready? Listen. Brambler Tooth is a unique hero, a beast, confident, small 4.
Oh, he's a small?
He's a beast.
Yeah, he is a beast. I get that.
So that means
he can be controlled
command
by
the familiar. Right. So you were saying something, you wish you didn't have so many wizards, you had more familiars to command. So this guy might not be an actual familiar, but he is a beast. And he can be controlled by that.
Yeah.
So you can control him with that power. Now, he only has the one power, special power, which is sharp thorns, which we kind of read earlier. It says, if any small or medium figure moves into a space adjacent to Rono, the Brambletooth, where that figure would end its movement, you may roll the 20-sided dice. If you roll a 12 or higher, the figure ends its movement and lowers its attack value to 1 until the end of the current turn. If you roll an 18 or higher, the figure also receives 1 wound. This dude has got 3 hit points. He moves 5, good movement. Range 1, 2 attack, a little low there. Defense of 4, which is awesome considering people come up to him to attack him. He can lower their attack to 1 with a good roll. And he's only 45 points.
Okay. Yeah.
So awesome figure there. That's kind of gives you actually 3 wizards and 2.
That'll give you 3 familiars
beasts.
Too.
Yeah. Well, actually now we have 4 now.
Well, if you count spring.
Yeah, I know you don't count it, but he's there. I mean,
Sorry, guys, I forgot about him once again.
So you got four beasts there that these wizards can take advantage of. So that's kind of pretty cool. I know that's kind of what you was kind of wanting there too. So that kind of worked there in the favor for us just a little bit there. So that's that whole pack. All that we just talked about came in one pack for $70. That's 3 wizards and 2 beasts basically.
Yeah.
So pretty cool. Now, the next pack we're going to talk about is a new pirate pack. Has 1 hero and 1 squad.
There's nothing to say about this, but it's just awesome. Plain and simple.
And it's a $60 pack. First, we're going to look at the new captain they give us, which is something Shane's been dying to come out for some time now. It's Crimson Widow. She's a human, unique hero. She's a captain, bold, medium 5. She has some awesome abilities here. She has the hire crew. As at the start of the game, you may choose a unique squad in your army for this game. The chosen squad's class becomes pirate, replacing the class listed on its army card. So any unique squad, samurais, bears.
It doesn't matter as long as it's unique. Even your army men.
I think I'm going to go ahead and say the Tarn Vikings are going to be great for this, because on her next power here, says Pirate Commander. It says, while there is an order marker on the Crimson Widow, the pirates you control increase their attack values by 1 when attacking adjacent figures. Tarn Vikings has a 3, now they go to 4, and they already have a 4 defense. 50-point crew right there. Awesome. 4 and 4. Yeah, you're not going to go wrong with that. And then you have Midnight Raid. Before taking a turn with the Crimson Widow, you may reveal the X order marker on this army card to choose up to 2 pirates you control within clear 6-size spaces of Crimson Widow. You may move the chosen pirates up to 3 spaces each. And as you know as well as I do, position in this game is huge.
You can move 2 pirates, 3 spaces.
Right, within 6 clear sight spaces ever. So, if somebody's got her as their chosen captain, they can let her go, and then that crew can go, and then she can, and before the crew goes, she can choose up to 2 other pirates within 6 and move them. So, huge, mobile. Makes that pirate army so mobile.
I mean, she's definitely like a true leader.
Yeah, she has a 5 hit points. She's got a 5 move, range 1. She's got a big old 4 attack, a normal 3 defense, and she's sitting on 150 points. But she does a lot for that 150 points.
Special powers is at 150 points.
Yeah, I mean, you're going to use her. Like I said, I'd take those Tyrant Vikings any day like that for 50 points, 4 attack, 4 defense, 4 of them. Man, it's great. You're just not going to find much better than that, I don't think. Okay, and that was the captain of that pack. Now, the crew to that pack is another something that we've been waiting on for a long time. It's very interesting, though, obviously. They're going to help the pirates out so much. This is going to be their backbone. It's the Dreadnoughts of Caraway Cavern. They're varied. They're different kinds of species and stuff. They're unique squad, pirate, wild, medium 5. They do have the captain's way on here, which is if you choose that captain, they get an extra defense from non-adjacent attack people as long as the captain's in 4 clear sight spaces of them. They also have the captain's orders for whoever you chose as their captain. You may take a turn with that captain first and then take a move with them. And then the power they also have that no other pirate has is they got mortal blow. After attacking an opponent's figure, roll 1 attack dice for each wound inflicted in that attack. For each additional skull rolled, inflict 1 on that figure. So, if these guys are with the Crimson Widow, she gives them a +1 attack. If she's got an order marker on her, if they got height, it gives them 4 attack dice. If they somehow get 4 skulls, then you get to roll 4 more dice, and for each skull rolled, that's another wound inflicted by these guys. And they do have 2 hit points. They move 6, kind of fast, range 1. A regular 3 attack, a regular 3 defense, and they're only 80 points.
Yeah, you want your pirates build up to where they can fight bears? Here we go.
Yeah, these guys can do it. And these are the cheapest 2 hit point squads there is out there. The Roller Boys, they're 90 points.
Yeah, and then the bears are 120 or 110.
You got 110 on the Roy Borealis, and then you got 120 on the Frostclaw Paladin. So far, these are the cheapest 2 hit squad out there.
Yeah, and like I said, y'all, this Crimson Widow and these Dreadnoughts is going to make the pirates great.
Yeah.
It's going to be a very fun army to use.
Very different, very unique. Now
we get to some Renegade actual stuff. The other stuff that he went over is still yet was
Hasbro.
The old stuff.
Now all this stuff we're getting ready to cover now, this is everything that we know so far that Renegade has put out. Now these are common squads. The next box we're getting ready to go through, that was the Pirates was all in one box. This box will have a common squad of Great Bow Archers and a common squad of Scions of Ikara, which are dragons. So we're going to talk about these Great Bow Archers a little bit first. So these guys are Jandar, which is, I wouldn't think they would be, but
this is a 2-man squad.
Yeah, 2-man squad, which is nothing new. They're giant, they're common squad, archer, fierce, and they're large 8. Pretty big squad. I don't know if squads have ever been that big before. The Bears come close to it. So, yeah, I mean, they're close. They are long shot specialist is their ability.
Yeah, and his ability is pretty cool, I think, because it's vice versa of what we're used to.
Yeah. It says, when the Great Bow Archer that has not moved this turn attacks a figure at range 4 or greater, add 1 to her attack value. If the figure is at range 7 or greater, instead add 2 to their attack value. Which now that sounds all great. Now don't get me wrong, being at 4 or greater, you get to add 1 to the attack value. But it's kind of a little bit, to me, misleading on this second power. If the target figure is at range 7 or greater, instead add 2 to the attack value. Well, when you go over here and you read the powers, the Great Bow Archers do have 2 hit points to take them down, which is awesome for a range. Yeah. We know that by the Roy Borealis. They move 6, which means they're pretty quick. They have a range of 7. They attack 3 and they defend 3 for 80 points, which makes them for a 2-man squad, that's pretty high, but
a defensive 3 for a range squad is always good, though.
4 is better. But
3.
that's the Roy Borealis.
5 is also
But no, what I'm getting at is, I'll say this: the range 7 or greater instead of 2. To the attack.
If
So that's
you're
saying
attacking within 4 and 6 range, you get to add 1 extra die.
If you're attacking at
if
7,
you're on 7 or higher, then you get to add 2.
But
it's
now,
vice versa of what we're used to.
Great, I get you. The only reason why I say that's a little misleading is because it's saying if you can get further away from 7, which I'm just saying, I'm just.
Your normal is 7. I get that with a 3.
It says if the target figure is at a range of 7 or greater, which leads me to ask, is there something coming that could increase range on certain units? We got one in Vidar.
Well, what I'm a little confused about on this is, when would you actually attack with 3 dice? Only melee, right?
Right. Well, you'd stay away as far as you could to get those extra dice.
Because even though your normal is attack 3, range 7, if you normally attacking is within 4 range, you get to add that extra. But now if he's only 2 range, then I guess you'd use the 3.
Right. Well, if you're 3 or 2, yeah, you'd only get the 3. But you also, just like the Roy Borealis, you got to pay attention. It says when a great bow archer has not moved this turn.
Yeah. It is a wait and fire.
Has not. Oh, so hold on. When a great bow archer that has not moved this turn attacks a figure at range 4 or greater, add 1. So I'm assuming you can still move and shoot 7 for 3 dice.
Yes, you can move and shoot 7 for 3 dice, but now if you do not move, you get to add this sort of a wait and fire type special.
So, and if I'm wrong, somebody correct me, but to me that's how that kind of reads, is as long as you don't move, you can add these special abilities into the special attack into your range. But if you move, you just got to go for 3 dice.
The way I understand it, and it makes sense, because like if he don't move, he's actually getting to,
right,
aim and take a good shot.
Right.
So it makes his attack better.
I mean, I get that, but I'm just saying, I think that's pretty sure how that's supposed to work out, is you can still move and do the 3.
I think they're pretty cool. I think they look cool too.
Now, I didn't mean to cut you off. Go ahead.
Oh, I was just saying I think they look good too. I like the way they look.
We when we first went over these, when they were doing the original thing, we watched earlier, we didn't think so much about these guys. And then after we revisited here and we got to reading this, we're like, holy moly, this is actually really good.
These guys are great.
These are Scions of Ikara. I'm assuming that's how you pronounce them. They're Dragon, Common Squad. Scions, they're Papompous, they're Medium 4.
There's 3 of them.
There is 3 to this squad. They have an ability called Cleave to the Mighty. At the start of the game, choose an Archmage, Dragon, King, or Queen. Unique hero you control to be the liege for all Scions of Ikara you control. Before taking a turn with Scions of Ikara, you may take a turn with their chosen liege. Did Solon just get a crew?
Did y'all just hear it? That means Solon has now got synergy.
With dragons.
Yeah, with dragons. That makes
awesome.
It better.
They've done a good job. That means we can get synergy with Agent Carr now. We can get synergy with Sergeant Alexander Drake. I think Renegade's doing good. I think they're visiting stuff that makes a lot of sense, looks good, and it does make it exciting. I got to give them a good shout out for that.
What I like about this, y'all, is that we're not forgetting about the old stuff.
Right. Well, there is a new.
We don't want to forget about it. We want to keep using old stuff. So this is the kind of stuff we want.
But that's a new Solon, though.
Oh, I understand that's a new Solon,
but it works with the old one too, right? And these.
That's kind of. I do want Renegade to say, "Hey, we ain't forgetting about this old stuff."
And these guys, they do have 2 other special abilities here. They got Dragon Breath special attack, and this one here is a little rough. You got to be careful how you're playing with it, because it says range 4 attack 2. And then it's got on here, only figures within 3 clear sight spaces of the Scions of Ikara's liege can be targeted with a Draconic Breath special attack. So whoever they're attacking, they can be 4 away from them, but that figure has to be within 3 clear sight spaces. Like they say, if you have Solon as your liege, they have to be within 3 clear sight spaces of Solon to use that ability, but they can still be 4 away from them. So that can make it weird. And they have flying. They're all one-hit special ability there. They move 5, which is normal, range of 1. Their attack is kind of low for 2, and their defense is kind of low for 2, and there's 75 points for 3 of them. But they synergize with
That's all
Solomon.
that matters right there.
That's all they needed to say. Shank could care if they had 0 attack and 0 defense.
They could be like a snake.
He would have been fine with it, which is good. I mean, it's good that they synergize, because that gives me hope for other stuff in the future.
I'm going to check the camera.
Okay, go right ahead, and I'll be pulling up the next thing here. But that was the Great Bow Archers and the Dragons. That was also a pack, and I think they were also $60. And we're going to get into the last pack they had here as far as figures go. This last pack was also $60, but it has some.
Now we did
has some
mention,
water work.
Hold on, we did mention Sonlin on it. Don't forget, they do also synergize with dragons.
Yeah.
They also synergize with kings and queens.
Yeah.
So
your Bug's the queen. I get it, Shane. I get it.
We did.
I get it. I totally get it.
We did only call out Sonlin. I didn't want to leave nobody else behind.
I got you, because we were excited. You know, we got.
Yeah.
But yes, your queen is a queen bug, and they will work with
I was
her.
happier just because it's Sonlin.
I know. I get it. I tell you. Okay, we're going to go into this last box here. Going to this last box. Here we go. It's pulling up. It took it a minute. All righty. One of these groups here is and like I said, I'm going to butcher this. It's Gallery Vanguards.
They're the fish people.
Yeah, they're a Valkyrie. It's a common squad, Vanguard. They're fierce. They're medium 5. They do look like fish people.
They're a 4-man squad.
They are a 4-man squad. 4-man squad's been a little while since we've actually got a pretty good 4-man squad. And this may fit it. They have title advance. It says at the start of each round, after placing order markers, you may move each fierce and unfathomable figure you control up to 1 space for each of your order markers on the Valkyrie Vanguard. And I have never seen unformidable, but I guess we will be getting some of that, won't we, if I even said that right. And then also they have a power here called Defend the Deep. A Gelfrey Vanguard adds 2 to its defense value when it's on a water space or when it defends against an attack from a figure that has height advantage.
Yeah, I noticed that when they went over it on TV.
Yeah.
It was also hot and not only water. Because at first I was thinking, oh, so like microcorp. And then they said hot, and I'm like,
A little bit
so
more.
instead of getting the attack from hot like microcorp do, they're getting the defense.
Yeah, they're kind of vice versa, that one. And then they also have swim. Gallery Vanguards don't have to stop their movement when entering a water space, which we kind of figured that.
Right.
They each have 1 life. They move 5, range 1. They do have a good normal 3 attack, a little bit lower 2 defense, but that's because if they're in water or if somebody's attacking from height, they got 2 defense. And the 4-man squad there is 65 points, so that's pretty good.
What was their what are they called again on the left there?
They're Gallery, Common Squad, Vanguard, Fierce.
Okay.
Yeah, they're Vanguards.
So I don't know if they got any synergies or not.
Well, if they do, we're getting ready to read it, because also in that same pack with them comes this Kraken figure.
The crackling.
Crackling. Yeah, I guess they can't call it Kraken, so it is Crackling. And what I find very weird about this Crackling and the Vanguard is they're both from different generals. Yeah. But, I mean, that's not a big ordeal.
This guy kind of reminds me a little bit of like a Finn Hider.
Okay, this thing here is Crackling. He's a common hero, monster. Oh, he's unfathomable. There's that word. He's a large 5.
You know what's cool? He's a monster.
Yeah.
I think that's cool.
And he gets to move that special move, which I said I hadn't known if I'd seen that word. I did not know that was going to be there, but okay. Got a couple powers here to go over. He's got warp space. Instead of moving normally, you may place a Crackling on any empty space within 4 spaces. If the Crackling is engaged when it starts to warp space, it will take any leaving engagement attacks. Okay.
It will or will not?
It will take any leaving engagement. So I guess what it's saying there, because his normal movement is 4, I guess is he can just warp. I guess height is probably what wouldn't matter to him, right?
Yeah.
I'm assuming if instead of moving normally, you may place a Kraken on any empty space within 4 spaces. If a crackling is engaged when it starts to warp space, it will take any leaving engagement. So I'm guessing
It would help you on height.
Yeah,
If
like you could just go right over the wall of a castle, no problem.
Yeah, if it was going to take you 5 movement to get somewhere instead
Right.
with him, it'd be like flying, basically.
Something like that. Let's see, the Eldritch Switch. After moving normally, not warp space, a crackling may switch spaces with an adjacent single space figure. Figures moved by Eldritch Switch never take any leaving engagement attacks.
Okay,
so basically, I guess if you're trying to get somewhere and somebody's on elevated terrain, after you get there, you can switch with that elevated terrain. Now you got the height advantage on them.
How far?
It says after moving normally. It doesn't say how far. It just says
it can be anybody. Anywhere?
It says a crackling may switch spaces with an adjacent single space figure.
Okay. I mean, I don't know.
Then he's got flailing tentacles. A crackling may attack up to 3 times on its turn. Reduce the number of attacks by 1 for each wound marker it has. Now, that's kind of like the Hydra. The Hydra thing. Except instead of 4, you got 3 attack dice.
But 3 attacks of 4 is good.
Yeah, 3 attacks of 4 is pretty sweet. And then he has the swim ability. A crackling does not have to stop its movement when entering a water space. Oh, yeah, I guess not. And then he has a life of 3, movement of 4, slow, range 1. We get that. Attack 4 is pretty awesome. Defense of 5 is outstanding.
Yeah,
and he's 85 points?
It's not bad.
Wow, that is massive.
It's not bad.
That is really massive. I mean, I could see him getting some use, honestly.
I mean,
and he's a common, so you can use
you can use
multiple of them.
He's which the Hydra is also a common.
Yeah,
so,
yeah, that's pretty awesome.
The only thing is with him is that one ability where you can switch spaces.
Yeah.
It's going to take a little getting used to. How much would you really want to do that? I don't know because I haven't used
that ability is out there already. It's the Warforged Soldiers' ability. Tactical switch.
Right, ain't it?
It's tactical switch.
I didn't even think about that. Forgot all about that.
Yeah, I hadn't forgot that.
That's
like I said,
I bring him along to these.
Sometimes I have a thought, and before it goes, you better use it because once it's gone, it is gone. Let me tell you.
I don't know why I would have never thought of that. The tactical switch.
Yep, that's what it is.
That is. And that actually is very handy.
Yeah, it is. It's a very handy. It gives you the height advantage to give you that extra attack. Now the attack of 3 instead of becoming 4 dice. Now it's attack of 3 with 5 dice.
Yeah.
I mean, you can really take down some figures like it. And I'm going to imagine. I'm not 100% sure. Maybe I should look again real quick. I think that figure is a single base figure too. The crackling. I think it's a single base.
I would say so because he's switching with single bases. So I'd say that's why they threw that in there.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
Because how would you switch him with a 2-base figure if he's a single base? I mean, you know.
Well, it'd be hard. That would make that power even tougher to use. But yeah, see, if you look here, he is a single base.
Yeah. Which
so he's
makes
single.
sense.
Yeah, right. That's kind of what we thought anyway. Yeah. So, Renegade, you're going to make us spend some money again.
Wow.
And actually, a lot of it's pretty darn good. At first glance, we kind of didn't think so.
Yeah, but now after reading all the cards, every one of the figures are pretty decent.
Yeah, they're pretty
you didn't
usable.
Even go over one of them.
You're talking about Deflecticon, the prize one. I did forget about him. That's why I keep him around. See,
this one would be the one that I'm least crazy about, unfortunately, y'all.
I'm not going to lie. This one is actually kind of.
But he does give us that 25 points. We need some lower point figures.
He does give a 25-point filler.
We gotta have some filler points.
Now we're not going to go over. We're not going to go over Raylan because I think we all kind of know about Raylan. Yeah. I'm pretty sure Decker the Bold Breaker's another one we kind of all.
Yeah.
But now the Deflecticon dude here, you get him if you order at least one of these upcoming releases we just went over.
A pre-order.
If you do a pre-order, you get him.
And then in the summer.
Well, no, later on. The prize support is going to be this guy. Not later in the summer, I don't think. I think it's toward the end of the year.
I thought they said later in the summer.
Maybe, might be. I'm sure it'll be sometime or another. But this Deflecticon dude, he's a Soulborg, common hero there. That's a key. It means you can use more than one. Guard, he's a stubborn, medium 5. He has this
He is a guard, so he does got a little bit of somewhat synergies with some figures on.
He's got Orbital Deployment 3. Figures with the Orbital Deployment special power do not start the game on the battlefield. At the start of a round, before placing order markers, you may place one Deflecticon that has not entered the battlefield on an empty space within 3 clear sight spaces of a friendly figure. You cannot use more than one Orbital Deployment special power each round. So it costs us nothing. You just automatically bring him in. There's no order markers you have to put on him. There's no dice roll.
No.
You just bring him in.
But only one.
Right. He is passive. It says a declaration never makes leaving engagement attacks. So
that's a weird one for me. I was like, really? Why are you telling us that he can't? So he can't attack you if you leave an engagement with him.
You can walk right by him and he does nothing to you. And I'm gonna go ahead and tell you his numbers before I go into this last power, because this last power just hurts my head.
Yeah.
He's 1 hit for 25 points. He moves 4, range 1, 3 attack, 4 defense. Good defense numbers for a 25-point character. And this magnetic deflection shield, this hurts my head. I think I understand how it works, but it's really crazy.
It makes me feel like Rakashot's consume power.
All right, it says figures adjacent to one or more Deflecticons cannot determine clear line of sight to any figures, which makes me think if you're next to this guy, you got ranged, you cannot draw a line of sight to somebody to shoot him, right? Is that how you understand that?
That's what I'm saying.
All right. And then it says when a figure adjacent to one or more of your Deflecticons defends against an attack from a non-adjacent figure, change one dice result that was not a shield to a shield if possible. Magnetic Deflector Shield is negated while adjacent to another figure with that Magnetic Deflector Shield special power.
The way I'm understanding, y'all, and I could be totally wrong, is if, let's just for instance say you have a ranged figure standing next to him. You can't shoot unless you move away from him. But now if you are standing next to him and somebody shoots at you, then you get the extra shield thing.
Well, you roll dice, and if you get a blank or something, you get to turn one of them into a shield.
Yeah.
And I'm assuming that's how that works. And that's a very tough power, and I'm glad you brought it out so well, because we could have very well passed on this one, but it hurts my head.
It would seem like to me, though, you would never want to really put a ranged figure next to him. You'd want to put a melee figure next to him and charge him into a ranged figure.
Right.
That would kind of be your...
He's there to protect the melee figures.
Yeah.
What I think he's there for technically is to protect those figures.
He's like what's them, riot shields? He's like a riot shield.
I can see that.
Charging in with a riot shield.
Well, no people from range can still shoot into you.
Yeah, they can still shoot into you, but you get the extra defense.
Right, it helps you.
That's kind of why I'm thinking it's like a riot shield.
You just can't fire back at them until you get up. You got to get up on them and just start the beat down.
Yeah, it's kind of weird.
And another thing Renegade did put out there today is you can buy. There's a wall set coming out, which Shane's not happy about. I reserved my right to still talk about that one later on. There's also the bridge pack coming out. It's basically 2 bridges in the pack.
Yeah, there's not no 24 hex road. I was like, come on, man. I thought for sure we was going to get a 24 hex road.
So it's basically 2 bridge packs, which is cool. I mean, the old bridge pack.
The only thing in the bridge pack is there's 2 5 hex straight.
Yeah.
And then the rest of it's single hexes. And then you have the walls to the bridge.
But you know what? This is a great way for people who may have not ever had a chance to buy the Forgotten Roads. Because now the Forgotten Road pack with 1 bridge in it and 1 Doomguff guard, if you can find it, is going for like $125. Outrageous. So now this is basically busting down the bridges into $25 a piece. I think it's a great idea. It's good. It's good for people collecting. I think it's good for people who want a few more bridges or whatever. I think that is the right call. I think it's a good call.
The wall pack still only has 5 walls in it.
But it stacks now.
It does stack, but I mean, is that a big deal? To me, that probably ain't that big of a deal. I ain't crazy. It doesn't really...
I'll probably get some of it, not going to lie.
But, well, I mean, I'll probably end up doing it too. I mean, that's just the way I am. But like I said, it's just...
And also...
I've just been a little disappointed with the whole walls. I'm not crazy over the walls.
And maybe he'll come around to it. I don't know. Maybe not. But also, before we get out of here today, we also want to mention one other thing they got for sale, which I think is very nice and looks very good, and that is the dice tray.
Oh, I really like the dice tray. The dice and
yeah, they got a new dice tray. It's got this like matte.
It's got about map of Valhalla in it.
Yeah, like a rustic look to it, and you get dice with it that's got that rustic look that matches the tray, and you get a D20 that comes with it. Now, I like how they're investing into these order markers and dice.
It's like the leather map that buttons up. Or not map. It's like the leather dice bowls that like button up. Right. The collapsibles.
And on the inside where you roll the dice, like Shane was mentioning, there's a map of what looks like Valhalla. And then if you flip it over on the back side, you got the I'm just gonna call it a HeroQuest symbol. Or heroscape quest. Yeah. HeroScape symbol.
We do play HeroQuest.
And it just looks really nice on there. You know, it's really nice because those symbols are on the back of the glyphs, on all the glyphs. So I wanted to make a mention of that too. And I know this has been quite a long video. We've went over a lot of bit of stuff. We just wanted to let you know what was coming up, give you a brief overview of them.
One more thing to mention, when we're making this video, it is not 5 o'clock yet. There is another some type of reveal or they said for us heroscapers to stay tuned till 5 o'clock. So we're making this video before then, so
yeah,
we probably won't be talking about that part.
And we're going to try to upload it before that happens, so that way, you know, when you watch it, you'll be like, well, they talked about 5 o'clock, and then you can go watch it back. Oh, okay, I got it. We're going to try to get that in there, and we just squeezed a lot into the short amount of time. Like I said, we're not as technically savage as some of these other guys are. They've done talked about this stuff while the stream was running.
Yeah, they would be living it and stuff. We ain't got that good yet. We will one of these days, maybe.
Yeah. One day we might. You never know.
We can get our tech crew to hang out with us a little more.
Yeah, or we just hire another tech crew. Who knows? We're spending the big money on this stuff, you know. But yeah, that's kind of. I think we touched on everything, did we not, Shane? Like I said, we're not going to talk about Raylan because
I think we touched on everything. I mean, like I said, that's
interesting figures. Yeah, I think they're very interesting.
The figures seem like they're going to be good figures. I like them. They all look good. I didn't really see nothing that I looked at and was like, man, that's a squirrel.
Right. Yeah. I mean, I like it all better than I have the voids. Correct. I mean, the voids are still my least favorite out of everything. You know, the wizards were all pretty cool. The 2 new beasts were pretty sweet. Yeah, I mean, all that stuff looked good. I like the pirate stuff. So I guess, you know, that's all I have to really talk about on that stuff. And we're glad to get to bring this to you today. Like I said, we're going to hurry up and try to get this downloaded for you so you can watch it before 5 o'clock. And, you know, Shane works hard on this stuff too. He when our tech crew's not here, he's the one teching it for us. So, and I'm just along for the ride. And anything else you'd like to say for him, Shane?
No, as I usually say, like and subscribe. Tune in to more premium skate.
And remember, guys, if you set those order markers right, you just might win that fight.
That's
right.
We'll
see you next time.
Peace out.